what I'd love everybody to do right now is for anybody that jumped in and both feet and started doing the system and they did a video and they're winning their day right now. There's also people in this group that have resisted it and haven't done it, and that's fine. We're not judging anybody, but what would you say to them? What would you say to them? Like, what are the results that you're seeing? What are the benefits you're seeing? What are the difference you're seeing in your life?
Seeing a lot more activity from realtors, and the video stuff, just doing the videos at first scared me to death.
Honest.
And then after I totally screwed it up for about a half an hour, I got one right, and now
Every
I just
single
keep
time.
doing them.
That's the path. He just described the path right there. The first time I did a video, it was for a company, and I had done a presentation. It was recorded, and I was nervous, just like Mike said. Okay, like I'm a human being too. I was nervous. It was my first presentation, and what I do before every presentation is I'll run to get myself into a good place. And it was November, and it was 85 degrees outside. And I went and ran, came up, took a quick shower, put on my shirt, and stood in front of there and started the presentation. And I looked down, and my whole shirt had sweated through. And I'm like, man, I'm on a call with 75 people right now. So I turned the video on, and I get the bright idea, because I work at home, that I'm going to take my shirt off and I'm going to go put it in the dryer, because I'm not back on camera for another 20 minutes. And I go take my shirt. I take my shirt off. I put it in the dryer. And like an absolute buffoon, I came and sat in front of the computer again with no shirt on. Now, as you guys can see me right now, you can't see that I have pants on, right? So all of the sudden, the video went off, and I didn't know enough about technology at that time, where the whole group, I saw the video go off, but I didn't know that they were seeing me. I didn't understand that the camera was still on. So I sat there for 2 minutes talking to them with no shirt off, not addressing why I don't have that. And they all thought I was naked. So literally on my first presentation, like they say, the greatest fear is public speaking. The second greatest fear is being naked in public. And that happened to both of me in the exact same time when I did one. So I'm just letting you guys know that you cannot do worse than me the first time. As long as you stay fully clothed, you did better than I did on my first video run. So,
when you challenged us with the 60 videos in 60 days, I can't tell you how many hours I spent doing takes and retakes.
I know.
And now it's just second nature. I just rip them off and do it.
Yep. And that's what happens. And that's my hope and prayer for each and every one of you guys. Is it's hard in the beginning. As I said, like I was nervous. I couldn't even freaking keep my clothes on, right? Like it's hard. And I'd riff and I'd look at the camera and I'd do it and I'd be, it's just weird. It's like any kind of new relationship or something, but it becomes second nature. I do it all the time now. And I'm grateful that I had that awful experience. And, but thanks for sharing that, Jeff. What are some of the things that you're seeing?
I'm seeing people sharing the videos. I've got one little realtor, that young guy. He puts it out to his group, and I've also started taking it, and I've been putting it into other real estate groups around Dallas, where they have to be approved by realtors in that group, and so far none of them have been declined. So I'm reaching out. I'm touching about 19,000 agents once a week when I put them into these groups.
And see, that's just going to help you so good, guys. One of the cheap things too is down the road, you're branding yourself. So when you see people out or you have conversations, like on Wednesday, they go, "Oh, I know you. You're not some weird cold call lender."
Yeah.
That's called the stacking effect in business. And it's also what I'll call, turning yourself into a local celebrity. So great job, Jeff. Brad.
I just started using really Facebook since the fall time frame. I had an old Facebook from college that I never really used. And part of joining the coaching was to really start utilizing it and starting to see the responses, getting, hearing from people that I didn't even really know that well in high school, but we were, I guess, casual acquaintances has been pretty cool. The other thing that I found is now that I've really embraced the video, I like doing videos, and I'm trying to incorporate videos as much as I can, any of the posts or whatever, and just figuring out, even some of my drip campaigns. Instead of using our company's CRM, I started using BombBomb. So I've been recording my various, hey, I'm going to make personalized videos that I'm sending people as part of my personalized drip campaign, not, hey, valued customer, stuff that's just overly marketed. And I guess more than anything, it's that attitude of, hey, when I come in the morning, I got what I know that I'm going to do. And even now that things are getting super busy in the business, it's still maintaining, hey, here's the system that I've got in place, and I feel really excited about just getting in and making it happen and spending time and energy doing it.
So you brought up an excellent point right now that I want to make to everybody is there's really two jobs that you have as a loan officer. One, sales and marketing. Two, fulfillment, doing the loans. So there's a difference between doing the loans and bringing the loans in. They're two distinct, different jobs. And they oftentimes take different parts of our brain as well. My mission is to help you guys become better at the sales and marketing part. Now, once you do this marketing program and you do this sales and you start becoming consistent with there, the next thing is you're going to get busy, as Brad just described. You're going to get busy, and you have to really be aware that the fear of overwhelm does not come in. Okay. And I want you guys to talk to your coaches and to speak with them and say, hey, listen, 3 months in a row right now, I've gotten 12 loans. I'm going insane. Okay. The next step for you guys, and this is what we do in level 2, is then you need to systemize the fulfillment part and hire somebody to do the fulfillment part. Your job is to do loans right now, but that can be systemized and hired down the road. Your business, make sure that you guys understand this. Your business is to be a sales and marketing for your business. That will never go away. And then, so through level 2, you systemize your fulfillment system and you hire people to that. You learn how to hire. And then ultimately, once you get that piece, then it becomes, in our level 3, it's when people go, okay, cool, now I'm really ready to rip it out because I understand fulfillment. I don't have any issues around it. I've systemized it. I have people that can handle this. Now I need to really get good at sales and marketing. But for you guys, level 1, I'm trying to get you guys better at your mindsets, getting in abundant places, understanding that you have the ability to control the way that you feel by having better thoughts. Does that make sense to everybody? That is wicked weird, and people look at me like I've got 17 eyes when I talk like this. I get it. But come to live events and get this. You'll see it live, how we shift people. You do have the ability to get the way that you feel. The better that you feel, the better your business will be. And I want you guys to be better at sales and marketing. And I want you guys to learn this stuff. That's what we're doing in level 1 with each and every one of you. Once you get those things, we know you can't fool me. We know. And I can go, that person's ready and they're ready to go. So Brad, thanks for sharing right there. Dawn.
This 90-day challenge of doing the system in Win Your Day 4 days a week has been incredibly beneficial for me because that is my job every day. I've been mostly disassociated with the outcome and just attached to that is the reward in and of itself, just to win your day. And as a result of that, I'm coming in contact with realtors I never would have come in contact with before. I'm getting the kind of people I'm attracting into my space are just awesome. I've partnered with this great realtor where we've got like everywhere we go, we pick up a client. It's insane. We went to Deepak Chopra last night. We went to P.F. Chang's to have dinner, and the couple next to us, we picked up a loan from the couple next to us.
Nice.
You know, it's
See what I mean? But hold on. Can I
yeah.
just make a point right now? See what I mean? This is what I'm talking about, guys, right? And now this is what I want you to think about. Right now, how do you feel about Dawn? Not by what she's done, but how do you feel about her? Do you pick up her energy? Do you pick this up? Let me see what people are saying. Confident, excited for you. She's a rock star. I've always loved her. She's amazing. Confident. She seems very positive. Dawn, this might get you a little bit emotional, but have you always been like that?
No. Big fat no.
And did you be very intentional, and do you work on this?
Incredibly intentional.
Yeah.
Hours a day.
Does it make sense to everybody when Dawn was talking, when she was in that what we call high vibration place? And like, I'm not kidding. You can go to PF Chang's and you can get loans. It like, I used to say this in the loan business. I'm like, I can't even go to the stinking mailbox. And I was almost like annoyed because I'm like, I can't go to the mailbox because people just want to be around you. They want to experience what you're experiencing. So that's why mindset's everything, guys. It's everything, along with then the confidence of doing a system over and over and over again. So you can look through there, Dawn, and see what people said about you, but it started with you feeling that way about yourself. Dawn, I'm super, super proud of you, kiddo. I know how intentional you've been. You've been at every live event that we've done, and you pay attention, and you're engaged, and you're fighting the good fight, and it's so so gratifying for us. This is our why, so we get to see that, So keep it up. Okay, Jack Jones.
I think what I'm getting out of doing the system the last 6 or 7 weeks is just a very calm feeling of confidence. And what I'm starting to experience is realtors reaching out to me.
Yep.
So we did and not everybody here is with Fairway, but Fairway does this AWI event, and we hosted one yesterday, and we had over 100 realtors in there. And I had been working the social media to invite as many as possible, in addition to one-on-one conversations. And but no way of knowing who's going, because the Illinois Board of Realtors controlled that. But I wore a name tag, so I had half a dozen realtors run up to me, or another person there bring the realtor to me, saying, "This person's been looking for you." Somebody I don't recognize, and hey, I see all your posts. They're great. Thanks so much for bringing me here.
See what I mean right there, guys? The local celebrity part. Did you just hear it? Derek, I did your dumb Thursday thing and I didn't get anything. I'm like, oh, that's not right. I do this to be consistent so that down the road, when I go to a realtor event, people come up to me and go, oh my God, I see all your stuff. Do you see how different that conversation is with realtors and all that? Do you see the difference in that conversation? For the newer people, or the people that have not jumped in and start doing this, this is why I say there's a compounding effect to this system. You've got to put in the time around that. You've got to put in the post and get some crickets and feel like this isn't working. You've got to go through that. You've got to keep doing it, because you're branding yourself over time. Jack, thanks for sharing that. That's an excellent point right there. And it illustrates what I'm trying to say is that's why you keep doing it. And that's why you don't stop doing it. I was talking to a guy this morning that was on a company call for a company. And the guy that was running it has done 100 million for the last 15 years. And we were just talking. And he asked me, he goes like this, he goes, what is it, man? What do you see? Like, what is it really that you see with the top producers? And I was like, I'll tell you exactly what it is. They're consistent to a system that works. And that's it, Mike. Secondly, they have a heart to serve. And thirdly, they're lifelong learners. That's it. And I'm like, Mike, when you told me that you've done 100 million for the last 15 years, you know what went through my mind? And he's like, what? And I was like, I know you're consistent to a system. Your system might be a little different than the one that I did. But the most important thing is that you're consistent to a system. And if this strikes home with anybody, I'm not meaning this to be personal. I'm just speaking my truth. What low producing loan officers do is this. I did that for a little while and it didn't work. So I went to a conference and I listened to that guy say that I should do this. Then I did that for a little bit and it didn't work. And then I went to this thing and I hired this coach or this thing. And I did that for a little while and it didn't work. Nothing works. And it's fine. And I'm not saying that to make anybody feel bad. I'm saying that to say that you guys have now put a line in the sand. We ask you that before you come in. Are you line in the sand? Are you at a point where you're ready to commit to doing activities for a minimum of 12 months? If you just do this system for a minimum of 12 months, you will be a different person in your life. Are you ready to commit to that? And so a lot of our coaching for you guys is just keeping you like focused and just do this, but doing it over and over and over and over is what yields those compounding results. And that's how somebody like you guys look at like an Eric Zanatelli. I remember him when he was doing 0 to 1 unit. I mean, like none. And now he's doing like 20 units a month. And you guys are like, Eric's awesome. And I'm like, oh my gosh. If you would have saw him when he came in, he was not. And I'm saying that from love. But I'll tell you what he does do well is he's been consistent since day one. That's it. Every single one of you guys can do the same thing. I hear also people be like, that Jenny stuff, Jeff Lange, do it. You're like, that Jenny Stoner is awesome. She has a heart to serve, right? Which is important. But if you really pare down why she does well, and she's at 15, 20 units a month, she's consistent. That's it. So my goal for you guys is you guys to not put anybody on a pedestal and be like, Derek's great or Eric's great or those people in level 2 or level 3, they're great. Nope. They all did the exact same thing that you guys did. They went through these steps. They did it. They put in the work. They did it, and they were consistent over and over and over again. Every single one of you guys. I did not give them a magic anything. Everybody's doing the same thing. Every single one of you guys can get that. Linda.
So I just think, I mean, everything that everyone has said, it gives us purpose for the day. It makes us feel accomplished when we've done it. I've had people reaching out to me for tips on morning routine. I've had realtors reaching out saying, I want to do an event, and I'd like you to be involved. I just a few minutes ago had a phone call saying, this realtor that I don't even really know said you're a rock star at doing this kind of loan, and I should call you. So yeah, just everything that everyone has already said. And that doesn't mean that we don't have bad moments or bad days. So, it's just when you compound all those things, it comes back to, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I have value, I have integrity, and it's working.
I give you so much credit, Linda, because I know how hard you were struggling with your mindset when you came in. Like almost nobody is aware. Like, let me say this thing to you guys and see if it hits you, or if it doesn't hit you, be like, Derek, let's talk about it. What you think about comes about. And I don't want anybody to think that I'm suggesting that all you need to do is go chant something and sit on a mountain in Tibet and things start coming to you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you have to do our system. Okay. You have to do the work. You have to put in the time. You have to do the stuff. But who you're being while you're doing it will determine your success. And you just picked it up on Dawn. Dawn was not always like that. Dawn, I remember yours so vividly, the first one that you did in Orlando. I think I've told you that story. Like, I even get like teary thinking about it, because I'm like, when I'm doing a live event and somebody's that vulnerable where you were, I could feel where you were, and it was in such a place that I was feeling it too, and it really caught me, and I was like, oh, wow, she's not feeling good about herself too. And then to hear you now talking like, man, I show up at PF Chang's and I get business. I'm like, that's all you, kid. And that's the same thing that, Linda, I'm seeing that shift in you as well too. And it is. So putting that time in with those affirmations, putting those times with changing your mind, putting those times in there, along with doing the work, will lead to amazing things. Does that make sense, everybody? There's some people out there that are, I don't prescribe to, like, that whole secret thing is that whole secret thing. I don't know if anybody watches that, is absolutely fine and good if you're doing the work. But they fool people that all you have to do is sit there and chant, blah, 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 and then you start getting checks in the mail. That's not what I'm saying. It's who you're being while you're doing will determine what you have, because they're picking it up and then they're feeling about you the way that you feel about you. And if you're not feeling good about you, they're going, I don't feel good about you. They can feel it, because you know what? You can feel it. Anne-Marie.
Hey, so that's a great place for me to pick up, because I think that was the biggest shift for me was, because I've done a lot, coaching in my past, and a lot of it seemed to zero more in on system type things and mortgage things. And this really worked on me. Yep. And I think the word that I would have to say right now is momentum.
Yep.
When I first started doing the system, I was very sporadic about it. I think in November, I don't think I did much at all because I was moving, and I was like, oh, well, what, but since I've been back from Elevate, and I've been committed, I think what I did do up until that point started laying the groundwork, but I feel like the law of attraction is, I get it now. And because what's happening is, no matter where I go, I walk in a room and all of a sudden I feel like I command it, because I walk in with a lot of confidence. And everywhere, and I'm showing up in places, and I'm getting realtors walk up to me and saying, wow, I'm seeing I had some lady say, I saw the videos you did on LinkedIn, and I thought, oh my gosh, I've only done a few, because I haven't really figured LinkedIn out. I'm doing more on Facebook, and they didn't comment, but they're seeing it. And then all of a sudden, I've got all these realtors who are friending me. I've even got one of the top mortgage lenders, and I'm in a new market. So it's just amazing that it's all of a sudden there's just momentum, and people are wanting to know, where's my Monday morning video? And a lot of it is how I'm feeling about myself. And so thank you. It's I see it. As a matter of fact, I talked to my boss this morning, and I'm hiring somebody to start doing the disclosure part of my business. And I'm not ready to go to the next step yet, but with an assistant, but I know that's going to happen. I feel it. I see it. I had a realtor who I sent a video just through texting, and I had to learn that you can only do a minute. So, but he reposted it, and he's like one of the top realtors in my market. He actually reposted it. I just got a video update on one of my clients from an amazing lender, and he tagged me and posted it. So yeah, it's so
awesome to hear that. And does that make sense when I tell you like, oh, it's just the beginning?
Oh, I'm excited. I hope it's the beginning.
It is. Well, it's not hope, and it is. I mean, it's just the beginning. Do you see that if you keep doing this isn't 60 days, right? Or it's not even 60 days yet.
Yes.
So do you see where you can create these giant transformational changes in your life and your business over time? And you probably will. What I want all of you guys to be okay with is, don't get into that fear of overwhelm place. Okay. You can say no to Anne Marie. So once you start getting a lot of business, you can say, we're at capacity right now. I'm hiring somebody and I'm doing this, and I can come back to you next month too. But I don't want any of you guys, the people that are doing it and getting momentum and going, to then stop. Because if you stop the compounding effect of it, then you start going away. It starts working the opposite. So I want you to keep going, generate more business, and then, again, get into level 3, start systemizing the fulfillment, and then creating, this is how we do it here. I call it McDonaldizing the process. So this is how we do it at the Anne Marie company. This is what we do on every single loan. Here's how we document it. And then you can hire somebody for a specific job duty, and you can keep going. Cool. Well, thanks for sharing. I also wanted to say that she mentioned something else in here that I want to give you guys a heads up on, is resist the urge to evaluate your videos or any posts based on likes, comments, or shares too. The majority of people are going to look at that and not like, comment, or share. I don't know if you get the behavior is changing a little bit too. When you're at night and you're scrolling through Facebook, you're seeing everything, and you might not want to get into any comment or something on it too. So don't evaluate yourself based on like, commenting, and shares. Like I still hear people say, well, she does it and she gets all these likes, and that's not the behavior anymore. It's people are seeing it. Cool. Thanks for sharing that. Let's go to Lisa.
So when I first came on, I definitely was in the role of having resistance to the system and was not following it. And then towards the end of last year and the beginning of this one, especially after Elevate, I did commit to, making sure that I'm showing up not only just on the social media, but in doing the system, and committing myself to doing that, Monday through Thursday. Mm-hmm. And I can definitely tell with what I've been doing, I've been getting more traction from it. We had a event here. Was it yesterday? Yes, yesterday, where something again within Fairway with Home Scouting, and it's switching over to Home Scout. We had realtors come to part of that training with us. And one of my realtors had talked to somebody in her office just because of some of the videos that she's been seeing that I've done, and said, hey, can you talk to this realtor? I've been telling them about you and your systems. They want to meet you.
Nice.
And I said, great. Can they come to the 1 o'clock training today? And he was available. So he came. So I'd never spoken to him before. An hour before the training, he came, we met, we have an appointment set for next week. So it's definitely, the consistency is definitely there. I'm very much learning that to not pay attention to and look for the outcome or the result on it, but it is consistency. And I know Betty Ann had put it in the chat session earlier, but it's really been inspiring watching Jenny Stoner and grow and see how, I know how she has been committed to the process. And for me, having somebody local where I, really see her, in person as well as on social media, and see how well that she shows up. And it's definitely, a compliment to the system, and seeing that it really does work if you stick to it and you just, again, be consistent with it, and the numbers will show, they'll speak for themselves. People will start to know, more people, and the right people will start to know who you are and what you do.
So the only thing I just want to check you on is make sure that you're just not putting her on a pedestal. She's the only difference between her and you is that she's done it longer. That's it. There's no
right. And that's it. And so that's it's inspiring me to know, the proof is in the pudding.
Well, cool. Well, thanks so much for sharing that. Let's do one more. Let's go to Angela. I love this one, obviously.
So the biggest thing when I came in, I am such a people pleaser that I was terrified to call, send a message, do anything, because I was just worried about what people were going to say. And I was completely overanalyzing. Remember, Derek? I'm like, you're overanalyzing? You're like, you're overanalyzing.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, it happens all the time. I can't tell you how many times this happened. It just happened yesterday with the Wednesday system. I almost did not reach out to this realtor that had been liking and commenting on some of my posts. We'd had a few interactions, but I knew she had a good lender because she shouts them out on Facebook all the time. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to bother. She already has a lender. But then I just was like, oh, it doesn't matter because I'm just going to do my system. So I did it. And so we're meeting for lunch next week. She asked me. She told me she has another lender, but she likes to have options.
Nice.
So,
and like, well, I mean, again, I give you so much credit on the growth right there too. I can't tell you, Angela, how much that holds a lot of people back. People that are people pleasers, or they want like God forbid if somebody doesn't like me. I'd love to tell you guys how many people don't like me. It's pretty funny because I speak a lot at things. I think I just got one right now, and we were on there. I just spoke this morning at a big company thing. So there's 120 people in a room, and I'll go there and speak. And my mind is like, there's going to be 5 to 8 people here that are great people that are going to want coaching, and they're going to, I'm going to connect with them, and that's cool. And there's going to be like 30 that are going to think I'm the biggest bozo in the world. And but I just don't care. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, if I cared what somebody thought of me, like if I needed everybody to like me, none of you guys would be there. Because the truth is, a lot of people don't like me, or and it's not even me. It's just whatever. They have a negative impression about coaches or whatever. I don't know. But what I can tell you is that if you try this one on too. If you don't have some people in your life that are critics of you and are not liking you, you're not playing big enough. That's the truth.
True.
You're not playing big enough. If you can't give me a list like, hey, who are the 8 people in your area that don't like you, that think you're annoying, that you're out there and all that stuff. If you don't have that list, you're not playing big enough. That's just part of success. And I hate talking about politics, and I don't want anybody to go to any bad place on politics, but for somebody to win the president of the United States, they have to get 51% of the population, and 49% of the population hates them. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter, Republican, Democrat. 49% of the population will hate you. And so for anybody to go to president, they're not better than any of you guys. They just don't care. They're like, that's fine. 49% of the people are going to hate me. Fine. And it's not like that in the mortgage business. You guys don't have any of that stuff going on. But yeah, when you're out there, some people are going to take a shot, and your college buddies might make fun of you and all that stuff. And again, if they're not doing that, you're not playing big enough. That's the truth. Is that fair? Yeah.
Can I just add that I heard your voice in my head? Literally, it was a whole conversation with myself going, that's resistance. That's resistance. Just ignore it and do the next right thing. It's literally going back and forth in my head.
You can name it there. I've named it before too. Like,
Yeah.
I need to do the system. Right. And then your mind starts coming up with all the billion different reasons why not to do it. That is, if you want me to get technical, which I really can't, I don't have the time, but let me just put it like this to you guys. Your brain is not set up to make you guys successful. Your brain's set up to keep you alive. So when it's there to try and find anything that's scary. Right. So when you go, I'm getting out there on social, I'm doing video, I'm doing all these things. And when you do that, your brain's going to every single time produce a scarcity, anxious thought, because it's like, oh my God, don't die. Your brain is not set up to be successful. So that's why only 1 to 3% of the population ever becomes successful, is because you have to be intentional about saying, I need to transcend my weird freaking brain that's telling me not to do this stuff. Your brain is talented at coming up with reasons not to do the things that will move your life forward. It is really good at it. It is world class at it, or at least mine was. So you have to come up with ways to beat that and not let it pull you back. So guys, I am complete here. I'm super proud of you guys. Keep it up. And if somebody's still resisting doing it, hopefully today that got them over the edge, and that they understand that consistency is what's going to win. I want to see each and every one of you on the other side. That is my hope and prayer for you. You guys have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you soon.